Alright, welcome back, Big Strong. So, this will be officially the first kind of second workout running the Bullmastiff strength program from Alexander Bromley. You can check out his channel. Just search that name, Alexander Bromley, Bromley. You can find him on Instagram and here on YouTube. So basically, after getting the max weights on the big lifts, the first week is 60%, 4 sets of 6 on the main lift, and then the last set's an AMRAP to self-regulate to make sure you're putting in enough work as it ramps up over the first week. Then it resets the first cycle, which is 3 weeks, I think. Then it resets for the second set of 3 weeks and resets. So it goes 60, 65, 70, and I think 75. And then there's a peak week, a deload week, and then your remax start over. So mine came out at 225 for 60% on the bench. That's what I'm doing here. This is the first time I benched at the gym bench in forever because I don't like it. Ever since I hurt my shoulder, benching on a flat bench just hurt my shoulder, but done some recovering, maxed out at 340, shoulder felt good, and it was 34 degrees this morning in the home gym, so I said let me try it in the gym. So since 225 isn't necessarily super heavy, gave it a go, and it felt pretty good. I did not do an AMRAP on the last set here. I just did the 6 because I could feel my shoulders a little bit uncomfortable. I just haven't really been benching at this angle in a while. I didn't want to re-aggravate anything, just kind of taking it as slow as possible. So the plan is for the next bench workout, I'll probably just up it by 20 pounds because this felt comfortable. You can see I'm kind of just controlled rep, 4 sets of 6. You know, it wasn't really super hard. So we'll put on 20 pounds on the next workout, see how that does, and kind of regulate from there instead of the AMRAP. So then we went into the 60-degree dumbbell incline. You know, most of the time I'll do a 20 or 30-degree incline. But the way this program works is on the bench day, you're kind of doing the conjugate of the overhead day. So this, you know, increasing the angle on that incline helps supplement the overhead work whenever the overhead press is the main lift on that day. So that's the reason for this. Went 50 pounds. Again, just for the sake of seeing how the shoulder feels. Did 3 sets of 12. And again, this program is kind of a power building, whatever you want to call it. Alexander says he based it off the 70s types of programs, which could be called power building today, where you have your main strength lift, and then the rest of it could be more volume or, I guess, bodybuilding type work, whatever you want to call it. So, and we've seen that both works. I mean, volume can work, low reps, high weight can work. I like the combination, mixing it up, you know, because if you're just going super heavy all the time, it's a freaking drag. So again, dumbbell inclines, good lift. Like I said, not super heavy, just wanting to get into it, get the shoulders working. Felt pretty good. Now I'm making the funk face, so it's heavy enough to make the funk face. So we're getting some work out of it. Squeezing out those last couple reps on the last set. Single arm tricep cable. I know there's not much weight on there. I had already warmed up with sets of 20, I believe, at this weight, and started doing my working sets here. I think at 12, once I got a nice blood pump going on. So you can see the sweatshirt came off, was warmed up. Showing off the gun show. On this, you can see I'm not locking my elbow out, but I'm definitely taking that tricep to the point to where it feels like it's about to cramp after the bench press, the incline, and some really high rep warm up sets. At this point, my triceps feeling like it's going to cramp up. So I'm taking it to the full extent I can right before it feels like it's going to cramp up. Keep pumping those reps out. The way I filmed it, I did all the left-hand side first, did all the right-hand side first, so I'm not moving the camera back and forth, being an a-hole in the gym, getting in everybody's way. Like I said, I still try to be as discreet as I can. So some good sets here, like I said, after the heavy bench. you know, I guess what do you call it, medium incline dumbbells. And I'm using a jit grip. I'm not using a rope here. This is a thing that's a training aid for jiu-jitsu or judo for grip training and that sort of thing. But I find it really fits in the hand really well, as opposed to like a fat rope. Don't get me wrong, I still use the ropes too. But my right hand was bothering me, and having like the fat rope in my hand was, you know, kind of bothered that tendon in my hand that I got messed up. So having this is a little bit more pliable. You can really get a hold of it, get your fingers around it, get some good work in. So now we're on the right arm, obviously, and just more of the same, trying to keep that tricep pinned. Actually, I don't pin it. I try to let my elbow float out free to where I almost have some air in my armpit. Or that's the way it feels anyway. So I don't have the arm pinned to my body. I'm kind of letting it float out a little bit, and then just getting as much work out as I can. You can see I'm kind of stalling out at the end here. Probably because on bench, I was probably favoring more my right arm. That's why it seems to be. And I think I might have done one more set a little bit heavier on my right arm as well. On the tricep pull down here. But you can see there towards the end, I'm flexing as hard as I can, and it's not going. So here's an interesting one for you guys, maybe you haven't seen before. It's the lying down cable curls. I really like this. I don't do it very often because I don't train biceps a lot, but I really like it because it's almost like a drag curl in that it comes straight up your body. You can see my elbows dropping as opposed to like me really curling it up like an easy bar. And you have constant tension because the cable is traveling in a linear path. So at no point in the lift does the pressure ever let off. You know, so it's really a good way to get some constant pressure on your biceps. I wish that there was a bar a little bit wider, but somebody was using it. I would like my hands to be just a little bit wider on this. But this worked out good. I just creeped up the weight a little bit. I think the last set I might have went up to 75 or 77 pounds, whatever the plate is. It's kind of weird numbers on this stack. 75, 80 pounds, something like that on the last set. And it was feeling. You can see I've got a little body English in it. It was feeling heavy. But no matter where you are in the rep, you've got constant tension, whether it's the very bottom or the very top. You know, so you can get a good negative and a good concentric. My camera messed up here. It changed the aspect ratio for some reason, so I did the best I could to kind of get it in. This first set just isn't very good, but this is a Kelso shrug. So Kelso shrugs kind of focus on those rhomboids in the middle back. It's not a shrug like for your traps. It's more of a shrug for your mid upper back. So I'm using a handheld attachment, or the hand attachment for the cable that's at least shoulder width. Afterwards, I wish I would have done like a wider grip, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to be so far inside for the Kelso grip that you bind on yourself and you really can't get a good shrug. See, like, I mean, even with this shrug here, it's okay, but I wish I really could have shrugged back and got those shoulder blades coming together. You know, whereas I think I needed just a little bit wider bar for that. Again, like I said, people were using them, so you go with what you got, do the best you can. In retrospect, maybe I should have just done some rows instead of the Kelso shrug, but you know, it is a bench day. It's technically a bench day. These are just kind of supplemental work. A little bit different angle, kind of lowered it so you can see it. Maybe on this one day I should kind of do more of a side angle so you can see where my hands are. Again, the arms are kind of just like dead rope or pipes, whatever you want to call it. I'm not pulling with my elbows. I'm not pulling with my arms at all. You can see my elbows are not retracting behind me. Basically, my hands are just hooks holding the weight, and I've got a little bit of body English where I'm coming back, and then I'm just flexing back with my shoulder blades and just kind of squeezing that whole upper mid back. Definitely not a row. That's why it's a shrug. Got my new tank top on, showing love handles. But I definitely like the Kelso rows, but I think I like them even more with a little bit wider grip than what I have here. So, good exercise, try it out. Kelso row. Then we finished up with the hammer strength chest press. Good exercise. Like I said, I find that the way the travel path kind of comes together at the top really helps me squeeze my pecs, the inside of the pec. I take a little bit wider grip here. And I see a lot of guys stacking weight on this thing, man. They'll put like 3 plates or whatever, but then you look down at the bottom, I've got the thing coming down on a single 25 plate. And that's just because with my shoulder, if I try to pull it up from that really negative first thing, it's really got my shoulder stretched out. But I see guys, they'll put 3 plates on there, or 4 plates, and they've got like 3 25 plates that it's sitting on. So they're not even pushing from a normal starting position, and they're just doing partial weights. I don't get it, but I do like this machine for doing volume work, really getting some blood flowing into the chest. So the first was a warm-up set with a 45 on each side, and then the working sets here is the end of the workout. I'm tired, and so we added a 25. So it's just a 45 and a 25 on each side. Really squeezing out sets of 12, and I think at the end I burn out at 8. And that's the workout, kind of shorter and sweeter. Different combination of exercises than what we've been doing, but again, this is the Bullmastiff program you can find on Alexander Bromley's channel. He has a breakdown for it. Be sure and check it out. Try out the program. It's a good one, and we'll see you next time.